Opinion O'Clock. I'm talking fearless. This is the show you've been waiting for. It's bold, it's confident, it's strong. It's every single thing that Ghana and beyond is looking out for. My name is Sawaki Tete. I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with three beautiful, intelligent, strong, confident women, and they are here with me. I start with Zainab, and then I have Tina, and I have Zita. I'll allow them to introduce themselves, beginning with, of course, Zainab.
Hi, beautiful people. It's Zainab Aisha Pasa. I love women. I love to empower them. Most importantly, I'm a realist. And so on this show, we are going to be real to the T. Because your opinion might be somebody else's opinion. And that's why we're here today. Today, we bet the opinion.
Hi everyone, my name is Tina Mulika and I'm a journalist who have toured almost everywhere, rural area in Ghana. So I've seen a lot. And I have a lot on my chest, but I've not had a platform to air my opinion. But here, I'll be telling you all you need to know, what is on my mind, my thoughts about governance, about life, social issues, everything. Stay tuned.
If Mulika is on the show, you can't miss it. Let's move to Zita.
I believe that we're all wired as kids to think in a particular way. But when it comes to the opinion, are you ready for your belief to be questioned? I cannot wait for you to see the thought-provoking discussions that we'll be having on this show. Love you all. Mwah.
Zita is a diplomat in the making and a lawyer. High five for that.
Hey, yeah.
I think that people should expect lifestyle. Basically, we're talking about everything that concerns you and I. So we're going to delve into marriage. We're going to talk about relationships. We're talking about health issues. Of course, we're doing politics. It's part of our daily lives, so we can't do without it. So yes, we're talking everything that concerns us as a people.
Do we have any age bracket to look out for, or it's for everybody?
It's for everyone.
Yes.
For everybody.
I mean, what affects one another affects you, affects somebody else. I mean, once you're human, we have a lot of things in common.
Yes.
And what I would say is expect nothing but the best. I'm not a politician, but I love politics, especially this year being an election year, not just in Ghana, but in the US and some other countries. So yeah, we have a lot going on, and I will be very, very much happy to air my view or opinion on issues surrounding politics worldwide. So just not just Ghana. So,
All right, the ladies ready for politics.
I'll say longer on you, Tina. You've been going around the country, writing stories about rural folks. What are some of the concerns for you during this political era?
It's just the same old thing. I mean, we hear every day where people talk about politicians just getting into the community when it's election time, and when they eat with you, drink the, I don't want to mention the name of that brand,
Okay.
do all those things, eat food with you, and then you get convinced that, okay, this is a father for all. But they now get the power, and what happens? They ignore you until the next 4 years. So there are lots we have to do. There's a lot we need to do. Maybe educate people at the grassroots for them to understand that this is not the time to be taken for granted again. I mean, we are tired. We are tired. They go to schools, go and then convince them with allowance and all of that. I mean, we know about all those bahaha, but are they ready to serve us? Our politicians, our leaders, are they ready to serve us? The mandates, the reason why we gave them the power, when they get the power, what do they do with it? They go to rural communities, roads are bad, poor infrastructure, electricity, a whole lot. Water is still a problem in major places in Ghana. Major rural, I think about more than 100 communities lack access to potable water. And I don't think in the 21st century and how Ghana is developed right now, we should be facing issues like that.
Yeah, I'll come to Zita. Can you tell us some of the key indicators on your voting this year? What are some of the things you are looking out for?
I'm not somebody who is so much interested in humility. I feel like for you to be a leader, you need to have audacity.
Yeah.
And for a very long time, we've been voting based on how humble somebody is. This current politics, we don't need people who are humble.
Yeah.
So for example, why would you want to be rich and behave poor when it's time for election?
Wow.
Why would you want to braid somebody's hair, pound fufu, to show that you can do it? It's not necessary. Do you really think that the people you are going to meet outside Ghana, the leaders you are going to negotiate with, they are doing what you are doing? Like, are they trying to braid somebody's hair, drink bad water to show that they are humble?
Coming down down to earth. So
We don't need people who are coming down to earth. We need people who can stand in front of other people who are very intimidating and make good deals on our behalf. When you go into the international scene, you are not playing kids play there. We are looking for people that can't be intimidated. So I'm not, this time around, I'm not looking for who is humble and who can sleep in grass and mosquitoes and pound. No! Are you intimidating enough to bring us good deals? If not, off.
Okay.
That's my
Zina,
take.
Are you also looking for somebody who is pounding fufu, or you are going with Zita?
But Samuki, are we doing politics today on the show?
You're not the topic.
So
That's
funny.
I'm surprised, but I think we're doing something on leadership today.
Yes.
Then I guess we're on the right track. I am not looking for anybody pounding fufu and all that. For me, I think it's just a facade because honestly, but I think the ordinary Ghanaian has evolved and we become very discerning. And so politicians are not going to win us this time with those, those things. I mean, I think that they should come again. And we should look at voting based on issues. Let's not look at somebody's persona because we live in a country where people look at a personality and say, oh, he's so handsome, and that is why we're voting for them. I mean, really, what I mean, like, what is that? Charisma, but
Why are you voting? That's
so we should go and look beyond that. And I think that we have a lot to do with our younger generation, but I think that when you know better, you do better. So this year, I'm expecting something different.
But they say that that when you go to the rural areas, it really works with them. Give them a T-shirt and they will give you the vote.
Yeah, because they are hungry.
But are we also not hearing that people are taking the monies and are not voting for these people?
Anyway.
We're hearing these stories, even with these primaries and all those things. We've heard a lot of stories. The people came with cars full of money. They took it, and the delegates made them aware that, you know what, we've come of age. If you bring the money, we go take them.
Are you part
but
of
we
the
know
people?
where
Are you
camp
part
is
of
going
the
to be.
people who don't care whether corruption is high, but then we see development, or you want to have minimal corruption and you don't really care if the development is not going so well? It's like you are building. You get my point. You are building something. You know that they can build a classroom for you, maybe a 10 classroom block or something, and then they can inflate the figures very high. And people are like, oh, it's okay, so far as the classroom is there, we are okay. But then somebody will take some amount of money but never build. Which one do you prefer? Or none of them?
I don't belong to any of them. I believe in the job being done.
Okay.
Do you understand? If you come forward and say, I want to serve you, know that we are giving you a responsibility and you need to account for that responsibility. So for me, it's become like an African thing. I wouldn't say it's a Ghanaian thing. Africans are known for this because in our part of the world, politicians are now richer than businessmen, and politicians are being served when in actual fact they should be serving us. Because they come to us at this time of the year, they come begging us, telling us all the things that they think we need to hear so that we vote for them. And then when you vote for them, you have empowered them to now come and sit on your happiness because they do what they like and what pleases them and not what they promised they are going to do for us. So I think that we are entrusting people to just come, and lead us wrongly because they are not here as leaders. No politician is a leader, so far as I'm concerned, and it's my opinion, and I say it with my full chest. No politician is a leader. They come with all the stories, and they come back the next 4 years to seek for your votes again. They don't come to lead. They come to rather enrich themselves.
Zita, you are in the international front, Do you think that issues up there in terms of diplomacy should be high on the table as well? Are we at that level where we are concerned about things happening in Israel and Russia, Ukraine, Gaza, those kind of politics out there? Because there have been times where people want the president to comment on an issue and stuff like that. Do you think it's big on the agenda during this election year?
You know what? Depending on the size of country, you can even have the voice to even talk. There are some things, even if your president believes in it, he can't even offer it out because he's kind of being manipulated by, let me say, a bigger player.
Yeah.
The way diplomacy works is that we are trying to be friends and behave cordial.
Yeah.
So, and you know how people are like, we are friends, let's say they Americans, some countries are friends with the Russians. So when, let's say, the Americans are doing something wrong, we will not want to comment even when we think it's wrong, right? But at the end of the day, our president can still decide to do what is right without caring about the consequences, because there are consequences. Anytime you don't act friendly, in quotes, you might have problems with, let's say, IMF, financing, and stuff like that.
Of course, where we come from, yeah.
Yes, from especially most African countries. Yeah. So that is to say, the only time we can have a better presence or bargaining power is if we fix our economics. And I like the question you threw to Zainab, right? I was hoping I'll get a bit of say in that. Think about, let's say, leaders in Dubai. Do you think about whether they are corrupt or not?
No.
Why?
Because they are doing their job. We see.
Yes. Obvious. When you wake up and you are starving, then you are wondering who is spending the money.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you are a citizen of, let's say, Dubai, okay, where your life expectancy and resources is at the top, do you really mind whether your leader is traveling in private jet and when they are coming?
But they don't practice democracy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about, that's why I said leader, not democracy.
No, but it brings my mind to something. So democracy,
but when I say monarch or, yes, that's what I was going to say. Okay, I don't want to jump into when we get to who has the power, yes, then we'll bring it in, because it depends on the leadership style.
I think, ladies, we should just start rolling with it.
Yeah, I think we'll start rolling with that. But Tina, before we move on, I just want a quick one. Do you think that leaders should be applauded for the things they have to do that they do?
You mean like African leaders?
African leaders, let me put it that way. Like maybe you commission some borehole or something, and then we are saying, and it's in the news.
Even when you clap, they clap, even your clap will come on.
Hey, borehole, and
they
got so well.
They were elected to do these things, and it's not their money. So why should we applaud them for?
It's a news.
You came to serve. So really,
I can see it's irritating.
No, I don't even want to talk about it.
It's painful. It's very
painful. But the people are so grateful when they see that. It's as though you are doing us a favor.
Because we are not well informed. The citizens are not well informed.
And who should do that?
Rights and privileges anymore.
Who should do that?
Now somebody will sit down and tell us that having electricity is even a privilege.
We are public servants. You're supposed to serve the people. That is why you came and said, "Oh, I can do A, B, C, D for you."
As our rights.
We shouldn't beg you to do it.
Even in the constitution, what you are supposed to enjoy as a Ghanaian.
Okay, so ladies, let's delve into our topic, which is the people and the leaders. Who has the power? Maybe to decide who has the power. Who do you think has the power? So hot in here. You know, the ladies are on fire. We told you that. They're on fire. They are irritated. So many things going on. But it's time to delve into the main topic for today, which is the leaders and the people. Who holds the power? Power to do what? To decide. Power to run a country. Power to do anything in your sovereignty. We have here with us our lovely doctor. She is Dr. Seto Nogbe. Welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm sure you were listening to us and you were like
actively rapt attention to everything that you're saying.
What's your take? What do you think about leadership?
Well, I actually want us to delve into the main topics so that I can give you my opinions.
Okay, so I'll start with you.
Because I feel like some of these things are very subjective. They don't have any fast rule.
Yeah.
The leaders and the people who has more power. The people, do you really want somebody who pounds fufu? All these things are very subjective, and it's dependent on time, it's dependent on who we are talking about, and then it's dependent on what the need of the people are at a certain time. Because obviously my needs 4 years ago are not necessarily my needs today. So what I may be looking for when I go to cast my vote is not the same things. So I may have voted for a particular political party or a particular candidate who may have stood in the past election because I thought he would have provided me my needs. But clearly maybe this year those are not my opinions.
But we do say that Ghanaians have short memory. You've heard that?
Generally, because we have been, will I say, groomed in a certain kind of way. Now, most of our politics is ethnic based. I don't think Ghana runs a multi-party system. Ghana runs a bi-party system, and that's the fact. And as much as we don't accept it, that's the truth. I mean, we see other independent candidates, all of these smaller parties, but really politics in this country runs between the NDC and the NPP, and that's a fact. That's something that will take a while to change, as much as we all crave change. I mean, I've heard so many people talk about how they want change, but trust me, when they go into the ballot boxes, some of them are going to make the same decisions they made 4 years ago, and that's a fact.
Because you think that there are people who really will not vote for any political party because of where they are coming from. And they will start saying, oh, I won't go and vote. Oh, I will not vote. Oh, this year I'm not voting. And when it's time, you see that they are in the queue going to vote for probably the person they still didn't want to vote for. Do you think that Ghana has, like Ghanaians really have the country at heart in terms of how we vote? Tina?
We don't vote for ideologies anymore. What we do is...
Have we ever?
I don't. I think starting from day one, we've never been like that. We live in a society where people believe I was born into an NDC party or home, and I was born into an NPP home. So whether it's good or bad, I need to support. And what even pains me, it kills me, to be honest, when I see educated people on Facebook and other social media platforms defending the undefendable. Like, there are things that you see that this is so wrong, but because of their political affiliation, they need to support it. And I'm like, are you okay? What is wrong is wrong. It shouldn't be because Party A did it, and I love Party A. Anything Party A is right. And then if I don't like this person, anything Party B does is wrong. And sometimes let's weigh sides. If somebody is doing well, let's applaud. It's good. I think it kind of encourages all these MPs somehow to know that they are really doing something. But we bullshit people's, excuse my language, people's hard work, because we believe I was born into this or I gained certain favors from this. And if we behave like this, how would we grow as a country? We will not. It's about time. God being so good, we've been educated. Things have changed. It's not like Ghana in the 90s. We have lots of intelligent people. People have also had education outside. We've seen, because of social media and other things, it's like a global village. We see what is happening elsewhere. We've seen how the youth is matching up these leaders, holding them accountable to issues and all that. But when you come to my side, Ghana, and other parts of Africa, we still have that challenge. Because I believe once this party is feeding me, I don't need to bite. No, I can't. So when, the thing is, when is enough for us to decide that we are moving on? We need to put Ghana first before wherever we are coming from.
Zainab, do you think that, let me come in quickly.
Samoki, I'm sorry, but before you even ask me the question, I think that we shouldn't derail from the topic itself that we're discussing. We're doing leadership with the people, or
who holds the power.
Who holds the power? Yeah. What is leadership? Who has the ability to lead? It's you and I. It's individuals who can give leadership power. You are referring to individuals, groups, or somebody who can lead. What are they leading? I don't want us to focus this discussion on just politicians, because we are leading groups, we are leading institutions and everything. So which people are leading, and at where are they leading? You understand? And then what are the expectations that if I'm entrusting you with a leadership position, I'm expecting of you, because you and I, we're all leaders.
Sure.
And we lead from home. We lead in our schools, and then it goes to the institutions we work, and in the groups that we form. In our group, our old school groups and all that, we pick leaders. So leadership is an individual, but who we are empowering to, lead us. So I think that we should look at that, and then yes, politics will come in, because we are very passionate about it.
I think it's the season.
Exactly.
Also. It makes it very.
So it makes us very
Yeah.
passionate about it. But I mean, if we're going to talk about leadership in politics, I have said it before. I don't think that we have leaders in politics. You know, and it's my opinion, and I think that politicians come, they tell us what we want to hear, you know, and show us what we want to see, so they can get, you know, our votes. And then once we give it to them, obviously we have empowered them. So now they tell us what they think we need and we should do. That
So
is
who
what
has
is
the
happening.
power at this point?
I think that we do.
Okay.
If you come and ask me for your vote, if I don't use this stump of mine to go and give you the vote, you don't have it.
So you have the
I don't
power
give you the
once in
power,
4
but we
years.
have it. Yes, we do.
have the power
But
once
I
in
don't
4
think
years.
that we know
Exactly.
the magnitude of what we have. And that is why we're being, you know, patronized the
So
way
I
we are
personally
being.
think it boils down to me
Yeah.
saying it's subjective.
Exactly.
Because once you give them
Because
the
I
vote,
think
you
the
don't have the power
politicians, if we're
anymore.
looking at it from
They
that
take the
angle,
power back from us.
Okay.
After elections is done.
So just like Zainab was saying, it depends on the category we're looking at.
Yeah.
So for example, if we're discussing servant leaders,
Mm-hmm.
that's different.
Sure.
Servant leaders are people who first have the intention to not to necessarily lead, but to help people. They have empathy. They are trying to solve problems. They are trying to make people feel better. Even in politics, there are times that people who are not thinking about politics were kind of motivated by their own people to pick up a nomination form. Not because they are interested in politics, but because of what they've done for the people. They literally push or force them into politics. It's different in a certain where you think it's your birthright. For example, if it's like, let's say, for lack of a better example, chieftaincy, monarchy or something. You know it's from birth to death. So you have the power without having to do anything to prove that you even deserve the power. So when it comes to that as well, that's a different kind of power.
Power
right?
and leadership. Yeah.
Then we have the general one that everybody talks about, which is politics. For me, I know we are tempted to say we vote for people every 4 years. We have the power. But immediately we do not vote the right people in. We've lost the power.
We've lost it, it's true.
If the power is for 100 years, and you have to determine the power every 4 years, and I live within the power to make the decisions, who the government is going to be, who is going to be chief justice and all that, for how many, like you are making so many decisions, and you are making just one decision every 4 years. Especially when you are not making decisions that are about structure, that are about ideologies. My biggest problem is that we talk about people not wanting to vote, but what are the options?
You don't have.
Are we bringing leaders, or are leaders who are experts picking up nomination forms? No. Why? Because they don't want to be insulted. So we the people are being so disrespectful in the political space that someone who is probably a doctor or an engineer don't feel like they should be insulted to that level. They don't mind you criticizing their work, but do not ruin insult on them or their mother or somebody they love. So at the end of the day, when we're talking about leadership and who has power, because of where we are coming from, when it comes to Africa, if we say we have power as people, we are kidding. If we have power, why are we not turning away the nomination forms of people who are, sorry to say, barely educated to even run a whole ministry that they don't have expertise on? And this person, let's say you pick somebody who has a background in, let's say, a teacher. I'm not disrespecting teachers. The
No
person is a minister for, let's say, agric, and you are supposed to go and negotiate on behalf of Ghana with another country who the child has been trained right from kindergarten how to be a farmer or someone in agric up to, let's say, PhD level, with all kind of information. How are we going to negotiate? How are you going to negotiate perfectly on behalf of? No, so we don't have the power.
I'll come in
Okay,
there
don't.
before I forget this point. To be very honest, I agree with you to some level, but not everything, because I believe real leaders are born, not made. Because if it's about education, let's be honest, we have leadership course and all that, and we have people that have all the PhDs and everything. But what have they done? They've disappointed us. They've also been there. They've been given the power. And then they've disappointed us. So now people don't mind giving it to somebody, a school dropout, because they've tried the educated ones. It didn't work.
And I disagree.
So we are
because
tired.
That is dangerous. You cannot pick a
understand?
school dropout to go and
I am
negotiate
saying
on
it's
a
because
tech
of the
deal.
system.
You cannot do
You
that.
understand? It's not That is
No,
why
you cannot do that.
we brought ourselves there.
You cannot.
Because the people that are educated that were given the
blind person
mandate,
cannot
what did they do with the
lead
power?
You can never.
What did they do with it?
But those are
I'm also asking a
The
question.
fact that is not
Those
perfect.
professors,
So is
especially
leadership about education
this
or not?
particular
It is
government,
essential.
we have the men,
Depends.
technocrats.
It's
What did they do?
essential.
What
I
has
do not
changed?
believe that.
What has changed in
I
Ghana?
do
Is
not
it
believe
about the
that.
What
education or it's about
Look.
the personality?
Some
You
of
know,
key leaders impact
It can-
individuals.
Come on.
They impact and also our decision making, and they influence our cultural, narratives and everything. So leadership, it's somebody you look up to.
Is it not
Do you
a
understand?
reflection of
And-
us as a people? The
Yes,
people
but
you choose.
we have politicians as leaders. We have religious leaders.
Exactly.
We have business moguls. We have media
They're also
personalities.
leading somehow.
They are all leaders. Do you
Exactly,
understand? And they are all educated, aren't they? They are educated.
No,
isn't
not
it?
all of them.
Maybe
depends
not
on
formal
that
education,
Yes,
but they
so
may be educated
we
in
have
some
law
form.
enforcement.
hold that
They are all leaders.
I feel like we are deviating. We are talking about the personal morals or behaviors of every human being.
Every
and
human being.
expertise.
Okay.
Okay, so are you going to pick let's say a medical doctor is a leader, right?
That's
when
right.
a person is a surgeon.
That's right.
Are you going to say because a particular doctor disappointed you
Thank you.
sometime,
My point.
you are going to now go and pick someone who've never been in a classroom to operate on
No,
you?
but in
That-
Ghana,
that-
it's happening.
Thank you.
It's happening in
Thank you.
Ghana.
I agree with you.
I
No,
don't
it's
want us to
happening.
make- I don't
It's
want us to
happening.
make
That
it
is
a
why
conversation
you
of
get to.
the educated people.
Who questioned Dr.
because-
Vachi? Or is it Dr. Fachi?
No, but
But
no.
I'm
not
saying
talking
that,
about, but it's
no,
happening.
let-
Let's
let
get
me-
them there.
country.
Let me make a
That's why
point.
some people are picking up forms and all that because
One
they
house,
know.
one house.
Yeah, let me make a point.
One house.
Let me make a point. I don't want it to be a conversation between an educated leader and a
No,
non-educated leader and all that. I want it to be a conversation. It will come up definitely, but it should be more. Is it not more of a conversation about the type of personality who is coming to lead, the greed or the welfare of the people being central for that person? Because whether you're educated or not, you could have the personal, the people at heart, or you could decide that you're coming to enrich yourself. Are you saying that, or are we all saying that if people are more educated, they want to
No,
enrich
no.
themselves?
I brought a topic.
Or
Can
they-
I start in?
Okay.
There are countries where there are minimum requirements
No, she's
for
not.
what is expected as a leader. I'm coming.
No, I'll cut you in here. You are doing law. I'm doing law. It comes to a point
Okay,
where
the lawyers are
battle of the
talking.
lawyers.
Tina, when are we doing the law too?
You have to start next year.
there is a history to our where we are now as a people, and always when we pick that, we shouldn't pick it out of context. There have been times where the constitution had favored people who were educated, and it got to a point where it didn't favor because of the experiences they had. And so every constitution that comes applies to the type of people who were living at a time, which comes back to your point. We are where we are now. I'm sure we want a referendum to change certain parts of the constitution because of where we are now. Because we think that maybe the executive is too powerful and then the legislature must be given more voice and then blah, 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 blah. Even where we have a conversation of whether DCs should be elected and, nominated and all that. So we shouldn't leave that.
I'm not
as a
actually having that conversation.
Because
That's not where I
mentioned
was
that
going to.
We are a people and we are
Anyway, then
That
maybe we
is
should
that
just
is
stay
not
within
that is
the
not where I was
topic.
going to. What I was going to
No,
say
but
is
leadership.
no wait.
that-
What I was going to say is when we set the requirement. I'm not even talking so much about education.
Okay.
But let's say if you look at the places that needs to be developed, and you're looking at let's say mining, the places we can develop to be better, health, and all that. We need to put people who have
the
expertise.
expertise.
No one is
Exactly.
different.
So
Of
So
course,
I'm
you
not
cannot.
please let me land. No. Please let me land. I'm not talking about just education. What I'm trying to say, you have to understand that no country operates alone. We are going to engage other people, and this person is supposed to engage other people on our behalf.
Okay, so
Let me land. It is better to look for the leader you want among the people who are qualified.
Exactly.
We cannot keep using emotions. We can't go far with emotions.
I
It's
agree
not
with
about
you.
education
No.
and whatever. No,
but
but,
I
you
wanted to-
cannot pick Dr. Vachi. Is it Vachi or
No, because that is in terms of health. We are talking about politics.
No,
you
but
are
politics is
no,
just
no.
one angle.
I'm also.
No,
I want
even
to get
leadership,
this.
when it even comes
Leadership,
to
no, no.
schools,
The
the
one you are
choosing
talking
of
about, the
advisors
leadership you're
of
talking
the
about,
and
there
all
are
is on the
different types
health.
of leadership.
Let's say
you
different types. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Your point qualifies expert. Let's say within a field, health, Fauci, we will not dispute that fact that he's good. But if you are coming to governance or any other thing, I don't think only the educated ones can make good leaders. That's where I'm coming from.
My point is that
exactly, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about if you are not a doctor, they should give you all those things.
Because they don't trust the first doctor.
I'm talking about in terms of governance.
Can I land on governance?
I'm talking in terms of governance.
Let me go to Zainab. Zainab was saying that it's not limited to governance in terms of politics. Okay, so when let's say we have an institution like a school, and there is a leader.
Of course, that one is obvious.
Leaders are elected. Sometimes they are selected.
Selected, yes.
And so in that regard, are you saying that servant leadership isn't even just about that? A leader could be appointed, but could be transformational.
Yes.
Or situational.
Yes.
Exactly.
So do you think that the power lies in the people appointing, nominating, selecting, electing a leader, or it lies with the change we want lies with the leader himself?
So first and foremost, who are the people?
I was on Zainab.
Oh no, but she can take it.
I mean,
if you
first
have
and
to take it,
foremost,
you
who are the people? You are the people. You are the people. I am the people. We are all the people. But I mean, she alone cannot make a decision, because then her voice sinks in amongst the four of us making the decision. So who are the people?
And
that's the
even
question.
in every institution, there are politics.
But it doesn't
Exactly.
necessarily mean
Even
that
in religion,
the four of us
religion.
are necessarily making the right decision.
Yes.
She may be the one making the best decision amongst the four of us. So who are the people?
They say it's not what is right, it's
So
what
she's
is acceptable.
exactly.
But what if I show you that, I'm a servant type of leader, I'm transformational, I can do this and that. But then you give me the power, and then
Prove
I
it.
do otherwise.
That is the
Can we see
conversation I
through?
was going to have.
Can we see
Prove
through
it.
people till the end?
having more power obviously comes with great responsibilities. Sure. So if we're entrusting leadership positions to people, we must, look out for certain qualities to entrust them with that power. That is why one of you, I think someone mentioned the fact that as a country now, we feel that the executive has been given so much power that it feels like the other arms of governance or government it's useless, because they can take veto powers, they can do so many things, and it's okay because per the constitution it's accepted, so you're looking for leaders that can make, even make mistakes and own them. Do we have leaders like that?
No.
Who own mistakes? We don't. In fact, we applaud the leaders who even make mistakes in our part of the world. And that's where my problem is, because then that is why I will say again, those ones, they are not leaders. So I'm looking into this camera and I'm saying it. They are not leaders. They are just saying what we want to hear because of the position they want.
Is that why we don't see our leaders resigning?
Because they are not leading.
Accountable for
They are not leading.
In other parts of the world, they resign.
Exactly.
They're like, Charlie, I'm stepping.
No, but it doesn't happen in Ghana.
But now they will be there and defend.
We are applauding them.
Because there's nothing the people who claim to have power will do about it.
Exactly.
So who has the power now? The
Right now, the Ghana that we are in
supposed
now.
to be the people.
Our Ghana,
but
the leaders
as it
have
says,
not matter anymore.
It is the leaders.
And
Now,
why
when
do
the-
the people
And in this case, Samoki, it's the leaders. I would say,
you
because
understand. So whether we like it or yes,
it
it
is
is
them.
still the leaders who have power.
They have the power, yes.
And let me give you an example.
I agree.
It could be an
other part-
executive position, it could be
They
a
have the
religious
power.
position, they have the power.
When
Exactly.
it comes to governance, the other thing I wanted to add after you spoke was that, look, apart from the expertise, we have to try and test people's experience. So, for example, I hear there are countries whereby, apart from the educational level and expertise and all that, you should have managed successfully a group of people, a number of, like, a population.
Yeah.
The word is successfully.
Not just managing.
So that means when you say development, it is measured. The figures don't lie, because people are voting based on who they know, which party they were born into, because of what they will get to eat.
Exactly.
But when you can measure the performance of somebody, then everybody will now vote based on that. But that's when it comes to governance. I think it's very different when you're talking about like health, church, and all that.
Of course.
But
It's
specifically
the
for
same
governance,
thing. Let
it's
me
a
not
bit
take.
like
It's not different.
when
Let me
you
tell you.
nominate, I'm coming. So what I'm saying is that if you go to other countries whereby they say that apart from your education, let's even put the educational expertise aside. In a country where it's expected that most of the MPs eventually become ministers, you cannot just give it to anyone. We have to give it to people who have been tried and tested successfully. The word is successfully.
So you mean that
so
people have a track
if you've been an assemblyman before, it's not just about being called on radio to ask, so what did you do? I dug a borehole. Even
No,
the presidential, we can't verify it. When a whole political party says that they've done A, B, C, D, we don't even have, journalists don't even have, they struggle to verify it.
Yeah, because
in
we don't
other
have
developed,
information.
yes.
Unfortunately, I have to cut you in here.
Right.
And we have to wrap up. So the leaders or the people who has power, Zainab.
Unfortunately, it's the leaders.
In Ghana, right?
Okay.
They are being president. In Ghana, Africa.
In Ghana, the leaders.
In Ghana, are we
In Ghana, let's just say in Ghana.
In Ghana, definitely the leaders have more power. We don't have a voice
The
in
leaders.
this country.
Okay, and you think?
It's the leaders.
Okay, I think I would have to agree that it's the leaders.
Until further notice, is the
Yeah.
leader now.
No,
And we
no,
can
no.
change. We can change that.
Yeah, we need to.
The narrative will change.
I'll
at
just
some
want
point.
to say that we
Narrative.
can even change the narrative this December. You want to show people that you really have the power, and from there we want to show that we can hold our leaders accountable.
That's right.
It's accountability. If you hold them accountable, make them responsive, then you can say you have the power. We take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk about something more social. Just stay with us. This is the Opinion Fearless. I promise you that. Thanks for staying with us. Still the Opinion, still fearless, and my ladies are still here with me. They are still on fire. We moved into our next conversation, which is women and men. Women versus men. Who is the better planner? I have my opinion, but I wouldn't say that. I'll start with Tina.
In my opinion, I will not give it to men or women.
Okay.
Because I believe it depends on the role. The role that they are playing that will determine that this person is good here or there. When it comes to planning the home, majority of women are good. But when it comes to sometimes things or social things or general stuff, I'll give it to the men. For instance, this may sound even funny, but I'll just drop it in. A woman may take a salary, 2,000 cedis. A man may still support. But sometimes I wonder how Ghanaian men really survive. I don't know.
Kudos to the men.
you people. They have money for their side chicks. They have money
Hey,
for beer.
did you have to start with
beer with
I-
guys? They have money for school fees. And
They
you're
are
like,
Christians,
how do
really.
you do it? Guys, how do you do it?
And your makeup alone is taking all your money.
Exactly. We buy a lot. You just shave your hair, 20 cedis, 30, 50 maximum. Look at her hair. We have to buy hair 2,000 cedis plus and all that
Every week,
makeup,
go and
meals,
tongue it.
do and do this, go and do that. So I wonder how you people do in terms of financial management. The guys, I'll give it to the guys.
Okay.
But when it comes to as in planning, life skill, multitasking, I'll give it to women.
Okay.
We can do a whole lot at the same time. But men,
But
when
I
they are
suck at
focused on,
multitasking.
we
I
are
don't
good
do
at we
well.
are good at that.
I don't do
Oh,
well.
really?
I'm the
But
exception.
most we go for majority. Majority
Yeah.
of women
Yeah.
can multitask.
Okay, settle, doctor. Would you-
I am going to disagree
Hey,
That's fine.
100% with what she's saying because a woman can braid her hair and stay with it for how many months if she wants to.
Oh
depends.
my God.
It is these same men who are the reason why some of these women want to wear all this Brazilian hair, spend 2,000 cedis.
They are coming to get you.
It is the same men because
They
if
are
I'm
getting
married,
money.
and I'm not deviating from the topic, I'll come back to it. I just
Okay.
want to make a point and then I'll rush back. If it is the same men, because if I kept my hair for like 5 months in locks or something, you will go and follow the woman who is wearing the Brazilian hair. That's why he has the side chicks you started from. He's able to make money for
I don't know how
that
they
side
do
chick.
it.
However
They are
do
pointing
it.
at Bulika.
Side chick. No,
I'm not excited.
Because you made that point, right? I'm not saying you're not a side chick. Of course not. Yes, so they are able to make money for these same side chicks because they are the same people who sit there and say, this girl doesn't have boobs. So you also want to go and do your boobs. You also want to do a plastic surgery. So that one
Snatch
has
waist.
absolutely
Let me
nothing
And
with
they
them.
fake, so it's good.
I mean, if you want to, it's the same way you go for the money from them because you want to wear the Brazilian hair, right? So that one has nothing to do with it. Now, I like this topic because this one is not only social, but there are facts to back it. Now, when you're talking about who is a better planner, it has a lot of things to deal with. The age bracket you are talking about is one. And then the environment in which you find yourself is one. Now, there's a study from Diane Halpin that says that that deals with the cognitive behavior of both men, like sex, both men and women. And clearly, men may have a bigger brain, like when it comes to size, But then, and I'm talking science, bigger brain when it comes to size, but it tells you, that study tells you that when you want to deal with the cognitive function, it is not very different, especially with the ones who are in the middle, who are the majority.
Okay.
Now you only see the difference mainly with the people on the extreme sides of the cave. Now that brings me to saying this. Women can multitask better than men, and that same research tells you that women's cognitive function is a little bit a step higher than men. Why? Because they use both their emotional side and then use their cognitive side.
Okay, so we are better planners in your case.
And as much as there is no statistics to really back it, even though this one was just a sample size research that was done, clearly we can tell this woman juggles between, there are so many career people who manage big firms, big companies, and then go back and manage
Are they
their
not
home.
overwhelmed with that? Women are always complaining. I was one time telling somebody that we keep saying, oh, because from Kolani was school. Because yes, it's like we are making excuses because we have to plan the home and we have to do this and we have to do that.
If
you don't think it makes us better planners? I think women are mostly overwhelmed. I'll come to you, Zita. But let me finish with
You're being, so like again, it brings me back to cognitive function. You're being overwhelmed is not what makes you a better planner. There are people who are able to manage stress.
I think,
and there are men who are not able to manage stress.
Okay,
and I know a lot of them.
So Zita, come in here. I think I need you here.
So I'm so glad what Doc said. I mean, I think she gave the, I don't want to say scientific, but am I right? Okay. Let me tell you why I'm going to say men are better planners.
Controversial Zita, we are hearing you.
If you ask me this question like last year in December or December, I would have told you, oh no, we women are better planners. But you know what I've realized? Women are perfect planners, but men are better planners.
Okay.
So let me explain. I'm going to use different scenarios. You take, let's say, a wedding, right? A woman can plan her wedding even before she meets the man.
Oh, I planned mine actually. Like I have my guest list and I have to revisit that.
You spend so much, and you know what you give attention and energy to, it's basically your life. So imagine what happens when the man doesn't come or the man doesn't show up with the haircut you wanted and all that. Then you have a man who literally, if you're not careful, he might buy his suit the day before or the morning of the wedding.
Yeah.
So what happens is that after we do all the perfect planning, if 1%, everything, 99% is perfect, and one thing went wrong, the cousin pulled a tablecloth that didn't have to pull, we easily become emotional or dissatisfied. A man will be very happy with a half glass than a woman. Why? Because we've spent so much energy, brain power, thinking about the process, drawing it and all that. When you ask a man to do a task, I started learning from men and mimicking them in some areas.
Yeah.
When you ask a man to do a task, they look for the easiest way to do the task. Then they would rather use the rest of the time to go and do something they love.
Definitely, yeah.
So when you ask me to, let's say, I don't like a lot of cooking and blah blah, but let's say you cooked a meal and you say, Z, put it in the fridge. I'm most likely going to put the whole saucepan in the fridge. Why? Because it saves me time to go and do what I really want to do. But I know most women will dish it, wrap it, do what. So when they come and let's say their food is gone bad and my food in the fridge too is gone, which one is more painful? Look at how much time you spend trying to get everything we want to control everything to perfection. And immediately we can't control one variable or a variable goes off, we become very bitter. And if you're not careful, it can affect your whole day, your whole week and all that. And you start giving you anxiety because you're panicking. So I believe that men are better planners.
Okay, I get your point.
You see how I'm shaking my head?
But before I come in, let's go to Zainab. I like the way Zainab is so relaxed.
She has a lot to say.
Hello.
Women, men, she's thinking, should I go with Zita? Should I go with Tina? Who should I go with? Zainab, it's your time.
Doctor said a lot.
Yes.
Zita has said a lot, and so has she. But again, the same research, clearly has stated that both men and women have, the same abilities when it comes to planning. Again, it's the detailing of it that, makes the difference. Like she said, we can multitask, but women overplan, but men look at the realities as it comes to them. So we take our time to plan because we want things done in a certain way. You know, whereas men look at the reality of it. Will this matter in 2 years to come, you know? But that is how we function as women. But we have the abilities as two individuals, but we do things differently, obviously. But we still have men, some men who can also multitask more than women do. Do you understand? So in this context, I think that it depends on which side you're coming from, and you know, where I say everybody has the ability, but we do it differently.
Okay.
Majority will carry the vote.
Yeah, for me, I think with time and with a lot of observation about myself as a human, I used to think I'm very different from a lot of women because I was brought up to think that women can multitask, which I can't really do.
You can't do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't do that. And
So
I
you
think
would say
women,
it's
they
just
say-
something that has been
Yeah.
said on.
Why?
you know,
So it means you are in the
They-
extreme
Because
camp.
majority of
No,
women-
I think that
We don't
I,
even
and
know that
because of
part.
that,
If every
I'm
woman will
coming.
come out to say what
if
they
you
really
let
feel.
me land,
Okay.
I started by reading more about personality.
personality.
So I realized that things are more about personality and not even more about whether it's men
Gender,
or women.
yeah. Women.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
Because
In the age bracket.
I can meet a guy who has my personality traits. It's like we are the same. And
Same.
especially if
Yeah.
you use this, there's this personality called Myers-Briggs personality test. It gives you exact, and I can place you somewhere and your behavior will be like a certain guy because you all have
Yeah.
certain measures that are alike. You know, so I realize things are more personality based than whether men or women. But there is this hasty generalization out there, and especially in Ghana, where in Badie, in Bema, especially when you are even in traffic, and maybe you are slow into getting into a
driving.
roundabout, and
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
we
your
obey your
ba
back.
no bema. Oh, your
There's stereotyping.
and I feel like
Yeah, but it's different because
and I feel like women
I also have had people ask, hey, Oba now drive it to Bema.
exactly. And that's my point. Because then they think that when it's so yes.
Exactly.
And they tell
That's
me,
what
sang
they
who
mean.
drive, yeah, it's all Bema.
Bema,
We speed when it's so yes. But I feel it's more of personality. Why are you saying I'm like a guy? It's
Yes.
me. This
Wait,
is me. I'm a
yes.
girl. I'm Sawaki. But it's my personality type. I'm very
Exactly.
strong. Like I come out very assertive.
Assertive,
And there are
that's right.
women who are very calm and laid back. And so people think that. So for me, when it comes to whether men or women are better planners, I will go with both. I feel like it, but I will go with both, not because I think women are better planners of the home or out there. I think women
That's a general
or men is
thing,
it's
yeah.
more of a personality type. If you are somebody who is more concerned, or maybe if you are introverted, you have a way of dealing with things than an extrovert. All of us here, I think we are extroverts. The way we think about things are
Oh,
different
my
from
goodness.
introverts. You understand? So for me, that's where I will go to. And I think if you have a weakness somewhere, maybe my finances, I might not be so good at it. But I think there are guys who are also not too good at
Terrible. I've met a lot
finances.
of them.
Yeah. They will go out and spend all their money and not even come home to take care
Count
of
the
their
home,
women and the home.
So in a nutshell, what we are saying is that ultimately the most effective planners are those who set clear goals.
Exactly. So it's
People
irrespective.
that listen actively,
Yeah.
I want to believe are better planners.
Yeah.
And people that are able to, you know,
Anticipate
delegate
the future.
when it's needed. You plan, so you're able to delegate that. Okay, at this present time, I can't do this, so I'm going to get Tina to be the one to do it. It means that you're planning. So that is you set
Yeah.
your goals,
And you also need to
you
have
are
a lot of
communicating
anticipation.
clearly and actively. So people are they are the planners. You are planning.
Okay, so do you plan yourself? How well will you rate yourself as a planner?
You should be able to balance.
Against
You
what?
should be able to
one
balance
is
your
better.
strategy. You should be able to plan
We
your
are
strategy.
balancing the sheet right here. Are you a
Against
good
what?
planner?
Against Tina.
Okay, 1 to 100. 1 to 100 on a scale of 1 to 100. Which one would
I
you?
think that gender doesn't
not
determine
gender-based.
the ability
Okay.
of.
I'm saying you.
No, so I'm generalizing it, but so gender does not determine your ability to plan. It's the strength as an individual for an individual, like you said. So I think that I have the strength to be able to plan and plan effectively.
Okay.
I delegate when I have to, but I am all about details, and so I take that extra mile to make sure that things are done, but I always have a plan B
Okay.
and a plan C so that I don't get frustrated.
Okay.
So,
So,
like
where's
she
your
said,
weakness when it comes to planning? Is it the home? Is it your finances? Is it your work? Where do you think you are not too strong on and you want to work?
I'm
at
an
that?
individual who likes to balance everything that I do, and so my tool is to be effective everywhere I find myself.
Okay.
Do you understand? So, be it the home, being at work, I'm trying to be efficient enough so that I don't look back and say, oh, I could have done this better. So I take the trouble to be more detailed, but I like to identify people that, see the vision and the strength that I'm working with, so that if I have to delegate, I do it conveniently and have my rest, because I know that if I delegated to Tina, she's going to be able to do it. So I like to also do
Okay,
that.
Tina,
So-
what about you?
For me, I think my strength would be with work. Like, I think I'm able to plan. I have set timelines and then I'm able to meet it. But my weakness would be finances. Sometimes, not because I'm careless, but even though I'm careless somehow, sometimes I spend based on my emotion. I can use my last
Emotional buyer.
I can use my last 500 to go and sit somewhere, eat, and then I'll be
That's
sat
all.
down, and then I'll be
That's
happy
all.
and drive home knowing that I don't have anything in my bag.
And
That's
yes,
it.
you'll be fine.
But sometimes to people, when somebody asks for help or support, I find it very difficult to turn them down. And that is why I'm one of the few people that when I'm not able to do it for you and then you judge me based on one thing, I feel hurt. I get hurt. I'm very emotional.
Today I'm judging you.
I'm an emotional person. So, so you ask me for something. If I can, I will. So if I'm not able to do it, and you make me look like, oh yeah,
I
you
can
have it,
relate.
but I don't want to give me.
I can
It's
relate to
bad.
that.
Especially somebody asks you for money, and I tell you, oh, I don't have money today, and then they see you enjoying somewhere. What they don't
Eating
know
with
is
your last.
You have
what they
money
don't
for
know
you.
is maybe is that my last money, or
Sponsors.
yeah, we call it insurance. I'm out by insurance. Somebody
I love that.
sponsoring my outfit, and
I
then
love
sit down
that.
and be judging me because oh, I asked Tina for 1,000 cities. Look ahead. That's this place.
what do you?
This place a buffet costs blah blah blah. You are now be calculating my wine.
Because I like their wedding.
I don't owe you. I don't owe you.
I like their wedding.
Doc, what do you think?
About
yourself.
With me. I think I'm a better planner at when it comes to work-related stuff, because I like to function a lot with my brain. So I do better at work. I am okay at home as well. I mean, like she said earlier, I'm also not I'm not big on cooking and cleaning and all of those things. But I mean, I try to do more than the bare minimum to make sure that my place is well organized. Everything that I have time to wash.
Do you
and all of
delegate
that.
or you do it yourself?
So most of the time, I like to do things myself. The reason
that's
is
the thing.
I have come to realize that sometimes when you delegate people the power to do things, they are unlikely to do it the way you want it to be done. They might not do it well. But that's the thing, like she said, you need to identify people who have the same vision and goal.
Not
Because
to
you are
catch you, but
not-
I used to have that challenge where I would do everything myself, because I don't trust that whatever I'm going to give you, you will do it well. Because I'm
Myself.
always going to come and find fault with it.
Exactly.
And I make you feel bad because maybe out of the goodness of your heart, you
OCD.
were willing. It's my problem. It's
Exactly.
my biggest problem.
Yeah,
So but as you evolve and life happens,
It becomes
you
overwhelming.
realize that you can't do everything
Yeah.
by yourself.
Oh,
So
exactly.
that's what, even that I have to be very sure that you can do at least 70% of what I'm
Okay.
delegating you to do.
Okay.
And that's a problem, well.
Okay.
Because
So
then I'm
I
like,
think she
then I
and
would have done
I
it
have
myself.
the same problem.
Vita,
Oh yes. Oh yes.
better planner or you suck at it?
Okay, so when it comes, I'm an action-oriented person than a planner. So I love projects. So what I do is, if I have any project in mind, I plan less, then I act more.
Yeah.
So I might have a whole list of
That's
plans,
it.
but by the time I do 1, 2, 3, I'm doing the action
Okay.
while still planning.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah, I think I'm like that too. I'm moving and I'm planning
yeah.
along the line. And when I make a mistake, it's okay.
My
I mean,
dear.
we can always move from that mistake.
I can
It's
arrange your wardrobe for you without you
when-
asking me.
When
Because I saw it in a
But
very.
when I saw that,
when
I
please,
will
I'm
go.
not done. Please, I'm not done. Hello.
Hi.
When it comes to home,
Hey,
apart from
hey.
eating, sleeping,
Confessions,
entertainment,
confessions.
please take me out of everything work.
confessions,
Hey,
I don't know. Look, I wish I wish I could be like somebody else, but everything work that is home related. Just if you want me to live longer, take me out. I don't know why. I don't know if there are other people like me. I'm not a great cook, but even just standing in front of the stove to make an omelette makes me feel like, what have I done wrong to deserve this? I see it as a punishment.
But you like to eat.
That's why I really respect and love people who cook for me.
Okay.
You are like, I can praise you like.
So you delegate.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, my house, I like to delegate. My chores.
If you want to know how terrible or how I get you talked about emotions. You want to see my emotions? Wait for me to try cooking something that bends. I feel like, why do I have to do something I don't want to do and don't even get a reward for it?
Okay.
Like this food didn't even have mercy to say that. Do you know what I'm saying? I can let me leave it here. Now I'm even getting emotional. Just leave me out of everything outdoors.
Please, we don't have to shoot on set.
Outdoors, no. So when you give me food, I eat all out of respect for your craft. So we always have the friends.
Why am I feeling sorry for you? Because
so we have the friends that do that cook, that love to cook. Not because my sister loves to cook. Yes. Give us everything else to do. What do you want? Should we bring you tissue? Should we hold wine for you? What do you want? Anything minus the
I don't like chopping the onions.
Hey,
okay.
I will chop.
I don't know. Zita, I keep confusing Zina, then Zita, but there's a Z, so it works for me.
Yeah, there are few Z's here.
Okay, so yeah, ladies, thank you so much for your opinions here. We have those who think both women and men are better planners. Yes. We have both who think that those who think that men are better than women. And some think that men are better at finances because they have side chicks and they are able to take care of them.
And
the women who are able to manage the home. And I think that I'm not good at multitasking. Today you know. So when you see me, don't be saying, oh, women are multitaskers. I don't do all of that, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I'm not your regular woman. Okay. But before we wrap up, I want to give you a hack. If you don't know, there's this secret to warming your meals, especially rice. And it's, you know that wine, is it the shot, that glass, that small glass for the shot, with tequila and whiskey and all that.
Yeah.
Before you warm your rice, just fetch water, clean water into that shot. Place it in your microwave, at the corner of your microwave. Put in your rice and cover it or however you want it, and just warm the rice. It will come out very moist and very fresh, especially if you put it in your freezer and you want to warm it. And that's a hack. I always do that. I learned it from a friend, Edna. Shout out to you for teaching me that. And for years I've been using that, and it always helps me to get my rice fresh. So thank me, ladies, for giving you that.
Thank you.
And for somebody who doesn't like to cook, I think that it comes in really handy.
Really handy. They know themselves.
Did I get a side bullet or
something? I'm happy for you as well.
That's so straight. Okay, so
it's
a wrap. It's a wrap. The conversation goes on in your homes and on social media. Look for us. Our handles. Zainab, your handle is on social media. Tell them.
Aika.
Esho. At Aisha, right? On Twitter. Are you on Twitter? Are you on Twitter? Hey, as someone I can see, but you're on Instagram. I follow you on Instagram. I know you on Instagram. Okay, so look for us, okay? On Instagram, Aisha Zainab, yeah. We have Tina Mulika. She has Tina Reports, and she has Tina Mulika, her page as well. And then, Doc, your handles.
On Instagram, you can find me, Seto_Nog. On Twitter, at Dr. Seto. And on Facebook, Dr. Seto Nog.
Okay. And you, Zita?
So, on Instagram, I'm Zinat_Zita. And on Facebook, I'm Zinazita. What else? Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
Okay, so me, I'm everywhere as Sanwoki. At least if you mention my name, Sanwoki Tete, you find me everywhere on social media, including LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you meet me outside, you can call me Sang. This has been the opinion. I told you we are ladies fearless. It's a wrap for today. See you again next time. Bye bye.
Mwah.
Mwah, mwah.